Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and welcome to our YouTube channel Paper World, where we are solving past paper questions of IGCSE Physics 0625. Currently we are doing the chapter Electricity and Magnetism, and today we are going to do its topic 4.10, which is electrical safety. Let's start, but before we begin, kindly like and subscribe the channel, and if you find anything helpful in the video, kindly remember me in your prayers. So let's start. Question number 1. The diagram shows a circuit that switches on a lamp when there is a change in the environment. Which change in the environment causes the lamp to be switched on? Okay, if you look at the diagram, you will see that we have a thermistor over here, and the sensitivity of the thermistor is with the temperature. If the temperature is increased, the resistance decreases. And if the temperature is decreased, the resistance increases. They are basically inversely proportional to each other. So in this diagram, if there is an increase in the temperature, the resistance is going to decrease in this thermistor. And if the resistance is going to decrease in this thermistor, this resistor, which is actually a thermistor, so the resistance is going to increase over here, and then the switch is going to just complete the circuit or will be switched on. Okay? So that is how this works. So a decrease in the light intensity is for LDRs, it's not for a thermistor. A decrease in temperature, if the temperature is going to decrease, the resistance is going to increase. And if the resistance of this increases, the resistance of this is going to decrease, and this is not going to help light this bulb. Okay? So this is not correct. An increase in the light intensity isn't working here, so decrease and increase in the temperature. Okay. Moving on to question number 2. Diagram 1 is a circuit diagram showing an AC power supply connected to 4 diodes and a resistor. Diagram 2 shows the output voltage from the power supply. Okay, which graph correctly shows the voltage time curve across the resistor R? Okay, we know that this is the resistance for AC power supply, and due to the diodes allow current to move in one direction only, so they actually rectify the AC current. So if the AC current is rectified, so this is not what it is going to look like. This is what it's going to look like. It is not going to look like this, and it's not going to look like this. Okay? Continuously, the current is moving in one direction. Okay? It is not changing direction. So there isn't this over here. There are only crests over here. Okay? Okay. Question number 3. An electrician set up a potential divider circuit in a fridge so that when the fridge door is open and light from the room enters the fridge, warning light turns on. Which component does the electrician need to use in addition to variable resistor? Okay, now you see that when they are talking about the sensitivity of circuit or a resistor with the light, so this would be LDR, light dependent resistor. Okay, because that's the only one that's dependent on the light. Thermistor depends upon temperature. Relay is entirely a different thing, and variable resistor obviously is not going to work over here. Something that is sensitive to light is going to work over here. So question number 4. There is a current I in the resistor. The potential difference across the resistor is V. Which other physical quantity is needed to be able to determine the energy transfer W by the resistor? So if the energy transferred by the resistor is W, so we know that energy is equal to VIT. Okay, or energy is equal to there are other formulas as well, because of power. Power is equal to I square R as well, and then power is equal to V square over R as well, and power is equal to VI as well. So energy equation can change. VI can be replaced by I square R and V square over R as well. But when we are talking about this question, so this is what we need. So V and I are already there, so we need time for which there is a current in the resistor. So D is going to be the correct answer. Question number 5. The diagram shows a battery connected to a potential divider and two lamps P and Q. The slider on the potential divider is moved from end X to end Y of the resistor. Okay. Which row shows the effect on the brightness of each lamp? So this resistance is moved from this to this point. So the resistance is going to increase for this lamp. Okay, na? So we can see that the resistance is going to be over here. Okay? So as these lamps are parallel to each other, so but the effect that there is on one lamp has nothing to do with the other lamp. So P is going to be unaffected by all of this. Okay? So it is going to be unchanged. The brightness of P is going to be unchanged. Now if we look at this, so the resistance is increasing. So as the resistance increases, the lamp is going to be brighter over here. We know that if there is a voltmeter connected over here, as the resistance increases, the value on the voltmeter increases. It's getting increased. So Q is going to be brighter than before. Okay. So C is the correct answer for this. Okay. Question number C. Which circuit has a 0 reading on the ammeter? Okay, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. So the current is going to start from here, pass through the resistor. There is a diode and it is going to let the current move in this direction. And then it's going to reach the negative terminal. So ammeter is going to have a reading over here. Looking at the P1, this is positive, this is negative. So terminals are correct. The current is going to start from here, going through the resistor, going through here, and then the diode is going to let it go to the negative terminal of the battery. So this circuit will also have a reading on the ammeter. Okay, if we start from here, first look at the terminals. One is positive, one is negative, so there is no problem in this. So current starts from here. This diode allows it to go in this direction, then in this, then in this, and then back to the negative terminal of the battery. So this is also going to have a reading over here. When we see this is positive, this is negative. So the current starts from here. The diode lets it move to here, passes through this resistor, and when it goes here, so the diode doesn't let it go to the negative terminal of the battery. It asks it to move back in this direction. So over here, the circuit is not going to get completed and there is not going to be a reading on this ammeter. Okay. So D is the correct answer. Question number 7. The circuit diagram shows a light dependent resistor in a potential divider. A voltmeter is connected across LDR. Which row shows the resistance of the LDR and the potential difference shown on the voltmeter at a specific level of light? Okay. If the light is bright, okay, so the resistance is going to be decreased. Okay. So if the level is bright, resistance is going to decrease, and over here, the potential difference on the voltmeter is going to decrease as well. Okay. So this high in this option is not correct. So if the light level is bright, the resistance is going to be low, not high. Okay. And so this is not correct, obviously. I've just told you that if the light is more, the resistance is going to decrease, and so is the PD shown on the voltmeter. And if the resistance is, if the light is decreased, the resistance is going to increase, and so will be the PD on this voltmeter. Okay? So now when the light is dim, the resistance is going to be high, and then the PD shown on the voltmeter is going to be high as well. So C is the correct answer. LDR में there is a simple principle that when the light is bright, ठीक है, तो the resistance decreases. ठीक है, and the voltmeter reading is also going to show a decrease. ठीक है, and when the light is dim, the resistance actually increases, and as the resistance increases, so the voltmeter reading is also going to increase. As now they are parallel to each other, so in the circuit this happens that when the resistance increases, so the reading on the voltmeter also increases. Okay? We've done this in the previous section as well. Question number 8. We said this section is about electrical safety, but there are very little and less questions related to that. It's basically a multiple topic sort of thing, as I've seen. But chalo, let's continue. 8. Student designs a circuit to use as a dimmer switch for a lamp. Okay. What happens to the brightness of the lamp and the potential difference across the lamp when the slider is moved from X to Y? Okay, if the slider is moved from X to Y, this means that the resistance is decreasing. So when the resistance decreases, the potential difference across the lamp is also going to decrease. And the brightness of the lamp is also going to decrease. ठीक हो गया? So A is going to be our correct option. Resistance decreases, PD across this decreases, and so does the brightness of the lamp. Question number 9. Which components are designed to improve the safe working of mains electrical supply? Okay, if you've got to improve the safe working of mains electrical supply, you should have a circuit breaker, you should have a fuse, and obviously an earth wire is very, very important. So all three of these are used to improve the safe working of the mains electrical supply. Moving on to question number 10. Mehaza, this is the second question which is related to electrical safety. An electrical heater is plugged into a main supply using a fused plug. The current in the heater is 10 ampere. The cable attached to the heater is rated at 15 amperes. The fuses available are rated 1 ampere, 3 ampere, 5 ampere, and 13 ampere. Which fuse should be used? Okay. The current in the wire currently is 10 amperes. Okay. And the wire can withstand a current of 15 amperes. Okay. And this is the current in the heater currently is 10 ampere, and the fuse should be such that it allows at least 10 ampere current to pass through. And then if it becomes more than 10 amperes, 11 or 12, or maybe 13, so it disconnects. So the value of the fuse between 10 and 15 amperes. Okay? It should be more than 10 and less than 15. So a value that is more than 10 and less than 15 is 13 amperes. I hope you understood the principle. So D is the answer for this. Question number 11. A simple wiring diagram for an electric cooker is shown, which has a metal casing actually. Why is there a wire connecting the metal case of the cooker to the earth? Okay, it improves the efficiency of the cooker? No. It prevents the metal case from becoming too hot when the cooker is left on? No, this is not what it does. It reduces the risk of an electric shock if the live wire touches the metal case? Yes, this is the correct option, because the casing of the electric cooker is made from metal, and if a live wire touches the metal, metal is a conductor of electricity, so it can just shock the person who touches this electrical cooker. So there is a earth wire which actually avoids the risk of electric shock if you're using it. If the electric cooker had a plastic body or a wooden body or any body made with an insulator, you wouldn't require an earth wire with it. Okay? So anything that is made with a conductor and uses electricity should have an earth wire so that it does not shock the person who touches it if the live wire actually goes here and there. Okay? So C is the correct option. Okay, moving on to question number 12. Either a fuse or a circuit breaker can be used to protect electrical cables from large currents that could cause overheating. When a fuse is used, where should it be connected, and when a circuit breaker is used, where should it be connected? Okay, fuse and circuit breakers actually serve the same purpose. The only difference, or one of the main differences, is that once the fuse just doesn't work, so it cannot be used again. Okay? It's for one-time use. And the circuit breaker can be calibrated again. Okay? It can be used again after it has done its work. Okay? After preventing a large current to flow in. Okay? It can be used again. So the only difference is this. If a fuse and circuit breaker are serving a purpose that it should stop any large current to cause overheating, they should be placed at the same place. Okay? So this is the live wire. It should be placed somewhere over here. Fuse or the circuit breaker as well. Okay? So that if live wire gets a large current, so it is stopped over here before it goes to any appliance or anything else. Okay, so here it should be. So the position of the fuse and the position of the circuit breaker should be the same. So they should be at X. Question number 13. The current in the kettle is 10 amperes and the kettle is protected by a 13 ampere fuse. The owner of the kettle replaces the 13 ampere fuse with a 3 ampere fuse. What happens when the kettle is switched on? Okay. Now the kettle requires a 10 amperes current. If you are going to use a 3 ampere fuse, so it won't let current more than 3 amperes to pass through. Okay? And so the kettle is not going to work. All the circuit is going to be disconnected and the kettle is not going to get any electricity to work on. Okay? So let's go through the options. The fuse melts and the kettle might be damaged. No, the fuse is always there to melt so that the kettle is not damaged, to stop the kettle from being damaged. So this is not the correct answer. The fuse melts and the kettle is undamaged. Yes, the fuse is going to melt because it is meant for just 3 ampere current and the kettle is getting 10 amperes of current. So this is going to melt and it is not going to let the kettle get damaged. Okay? The fuse does not melt. No, the fuse has to melt because पीछे से there is a 10 ampere current coming and 3 ampere fuse is over there, so the 3 ampere fuse is going to get off, or उसके बाद the electricity is not going to go through this fuse. Okay? The fuse does not melt but the kettle fails to work. No, the fuse is going to melt and the kettle is not going to work. So B is the correct answer for this. Question number 14. In this circuit, a component at X automatically protects the wiring from overheating if there is a fault. Which row indicates components that are suitable? Okay, if you need something to prevent overheating, if there is a fault, you need a circuit breaker or a fuse. Okay, that is for sure. But do you require a switch? No, you don't require a switch. Switch is not going to work. Or the switch has to have some mechanism कि जिसमें if there is a resistor applied to it, and that's a whole different story. So if you need something to stop wiring from overheating, it would be a circuit breaker and a fuse, and you don't require a switch over here. Okay? So B is the correct answer. Why is a fuse used in an electrical circuit? So that the current can only have one value. No, this is not correct. To prevent current from becoming too large, is this seems to be correct. To provide a path to earth if a fault occurs, no. To save electrical energy, no, a fuse doesn't work like this. So B is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 16. An electrical kettle has a metal casing. The cable for the kettle contains a wire that is connected to the earth pin of the plug. Which danger does this guard against? The cable to kettle becoming too hot? No. The casing of the kettle becoming live? Yes. This is the problem. The kettle has a metal casing, so the live wire can touch the casing, and there is going to be a current in the kettle, and if someone touches it, so he is going to get electrocuted. He is going to get a shock. So that is why this earth wire is there. Okay? Baki, the both of them are not correct. So B is correct. Question number 17. Two electrical appliances are connected to the main supply. The cable connected to one appliance includes earth wire. The cable connected to the second appliance does not need an earth wire. What is the reason for this difference? I've just told you in that electric cooker question that if something which uses electricity, like an electric appliance, if the body is made up of a conductor, so it requires the earth wire connection. Okay? And if the body is made from an insulator like plastic or glass or wood or any such insulating material, so we don't require an earth wire. So that is why the one of the appliances has an earth wire and the other does not. So going through the options, one appliance has a metal case but the other appliance does not. So the first option is the correct option. It tells us that this one does not has a body that is made up of a conductor, so it doesn't require an earth wire. Okay. So question number 18. A domestic circuit includes a 30 ampere fuse. This protects the wiring if there is too much current in the circuit. In which wire is the 30 ampere fuse positioned, and what does it do when it operates? Okay. The fuse is always positioned in a live wire. Neutral wire or an earth wire has nothing to do with it. Okay? And what is the purpose of this wire? It actually disconnects the circuit if there is a current of more than 30 amperes in the wire. Okay? It does not reduce current to 30 amperes. It just disconnects the circuit when there is a current of more than 30 amperes in the wire. Okay? So A is going to be the correct option. Okay. Question number 19. A fuse is used to protect an electric circuit. Which diagram shows where the fuse should be connected? Okay, the fuse is always connected with the live wire before any switch or any appliance is connected. So this seems to be a correct one. This is a live wire. It is connected to a live wire before any switch or appliance is over there. So this might be correct, but we should look at the other options as well. Okay. Over here there is a switch. If the switch is closed, so the current is not going to go pass through the fuse. Current always finds a passage without any resistance. So if the switch is on, the current is going to go over here and or towards all of the appliances, and it is not going to pass through the fuse. So this is not a good arrangement. If there is a current more than the required value, more than of what is required, so it is going to create problems, and there is going to be a short circuit of such. Okay. In C, there is a switch before a fuse, and there is an appliance or bulb before the fuse as well. So if there is a current of more than required value, so this is going to spoil this. Okay. And it is going to and only this can be saved, and some of the appliances or electrical utilities won't be saved. So C is not the correct answer, and this obviously is not the correct answer. It should be before any appliance or switch is there. Okay. Question number 20. The current in a kettle is 10 amperes and is protected by a 13 ampere fuse. The owner of the kettle replaces the 13 ampere fuse with a 3 ampere fuse. What happens when the kettle is switched on? We just did this question before as well. Nothing is going to happen. The fuse is going to blow and the kettle is going to be undamaged. See, I explained it before as well. Question number 21. In the circuit shown, the current from the battery divides equally between two lamps. Each ammeter reads 6 amperes. Okay, what is the suitable reading for the fuse in the circuit? Okay, if you see that each ammeter reads 6 amperes and this is a parallel circuit. So actually there was 12 ampere current which was coming through. Okay, after passing through the resistor as well, because these are identical lamps and the current is equally divided between the two lamps. So when the current reaches here, 6 ampere is going to go here and 6 ampere is going to go here. So the total current over here was 12 amperes. So you need a fuse that is greater than 12 amperes but less than 13 or 14 amperes tops. Okay, 1 or 2 amperes can be calibrated for, but the best would be just 1 or 2 points. So it should be either 13 or 14, nothing more than that. Okay, so these are less than 12. So if these are employed over here, so they are not going to let the current go to these lamps. Okay, because 12 amperes is coming in and this is made for a 10 ampere current. So this is going to fuse up and this is going to start working and it won't let the current pass through. Okay, so these are not going to work. So 13 ampere is a better option, which is greater than 12 and not much greater than it. Okay, so D is the correct option. Question number 22. An appliance is connected to main supply. Its circuit also contains a switch and a fuse. Which circuit shows the fuse in the correct position? Okay, the fuse should be connected in series with the live wire. Okay, over here it is connected in parallel to a switch. So if the switch is open, okay, so the current might pass through the fuse. Okay, because it has no other way to pass through. But when the switch is closed, the current is always going to look for a path that shows no resistance. Okay, so it is going to pass through here, and if the current is more than the calibrated value, so it is going to go to the appliance and the appliance is going to malfunction. Okay, it is never going to pass through this resistor. So the fuse. So this is not the correct option. In option B, there is a fuse in the live wire before any switch, before any appliances there, and it is connected in series. So B is the correct option. Let's look at the other option. It is after the appliance, so it is not going to work. If there is a more current in the calibrated value, it is going to reach the appliance and it is going to malfunction, and then there won't be a need for a fuse. And again over here it is connected with a switch and is connected parallel. So if the switch is closed, the current is always going to go straight and is not going to pass through the fuse, because it was always going to guide a path that doesn't show any resistance to it. So D is not the correct option. Again, B is the correct option. Question number 23. The diagram shows the connections to an electric heater. 3 fuses have been added to the circuit. Okay. Which of the fuses are correctly placed? Okay, fuse 1 is very correctly placed. Okay, it is connected to the live wire before any switch, before any resistance, not connected parallel to any other. So fuse 1 is connected correctly. And if fuse 1 is connected correctly, though we don't need a fuse 2 and fuse 3 anymore. Okay, so if the switch is closed, the current is going to pass through like this. And if there is a current more than the calibrated value, though it is not going to pass. The fuse 1 is in the correct position, so C is the correct option. You don't need fuse 2 and 3. Question number 24. Each branch of a domestic circuit often includes a circuit breaker. This protects the wiring if too much current flows in the circuit. In which wire is the circuit breaker placed and what does it do when it operates? Circuit breaker is always placed in a live wire. It is never placed in a neutral wire. Okay? And what does the circuit breaker do? It disconnects the circuit altogether. It does not have the ability to reduce the current to a safe value. So A is the correct option. Moving on to question number 25. An electric motor is connected to main supply by insulated wires. The circuit is protected by a fuse, but the connecting wires become hot. How could the wires be prevented from becoming too hot? Okay. Option A, connect a second fuse in the neutral wire. No, neutral wire doesn't require a fuse. Use a fuse with a higher current rating. If the fuse is of higher current rating, so it is going to let more current to pass through and the wires are going to become even more hot. And C, use thicker connecting wire. Yes, using thicker connecting wire is going to reduce the current because we know that resistance is inversely proportional to the area. So if the wire is thicker, the resistance is going to be smaller, and because of that, the overheating is not going to happen. Okay. And you know, na, V is equal to IR, and I is inversely proportional to R. So if R is more, the current is going to be less, and if R is less, the current is going to be more, and so on. Okay. Question number 26. A desk lamp should have a 3 ampere fuse fitted, but a 13 ampere fuse has been fitted by mistake. Okay. The lamp is not faulty. The lamp is switched on. What happens? So it should have a 3 ampere fuse and a 13 ampere fuse has been fitted by mistake. So at the moment, nothing is going to happen. It is only going to happen if there is a current of more than 3 amperes when the switch is the lamp is switched on. Okay? So if that has not been mentioned, so I don't think that anything is going to happen. If there is a current of more than 3 amperes, like 4 or 5 amperes, so the fuse is not going to work and it is going to go in the lamp and it is going to malfunction. But if that is not happening, so we can say that nothing is going to happen. The lamp is going to work normally. Okay, these are not working. So 26, the lamp works normally at the moment. Question number 27. An air conditioner and a television are both connected to the same electrical circuit. The current in the air conditioner is 4 amperes and the current in the television is 6 amperes. Several different fuses are available. Which fuse should be connected at X? So because they are connected parallel to each other, one has 4 amperes and one has 6 amperes current. So they both have 10 amperes of current. So the fuse should be closer to 10 ampere, or अगर बहुत ज़्यादा भी हो तो it should be 13 amperes. So I think we can use a current of 13 amperes because 10 amperes तो has to pass through na. If a fuse of 10 amperes is over here, so nothing is going to work. So we need a fuse that is greater than 10 amperes. So 13 is greater than 10 amperes, so that is going to be it. Moving on to question number 28. A fuse and a relay each use an effect of an electrical current. Which effect of an electric current is used by a fuse and which effect is used by a relay? We know that for a relay, the magnetic effect of current is used, and for a fuse, heating effect obviously is used. So effect used by a fuse is heating effect, and effect by a relay is a magnetic effect. So B is the correct option. Question number 29. A circuit breaker is designed to protect a circuit which usually carries a current of 2 amperes. The time taken to break the circuit depends on the current as shown by the graph. what happens when the current of 2 ampere, when the current in the circuit is 2 ampere, and what happens when there is a current in 18 ampere. So if you look over here, this is the time, sorry, this is the current and this is the time taken for the circuit breaker or the fuse to work. When the current is 2 amperes, so nothing is going to happen because the system is calibrated for the appliance is calibrated for the 2 ampere current. So nothing has happened. Achha, when it reaches 4 amperes, so it starts to work. Okay? नहीं 4 ampere से पहले ही it has started to work. Around 3 ampere it started to work, and it takes like quite some time to work. And for 2 ampere the circuit breaker does not work. And if the current is 18 amperes, so it takes, I think, less than even 5 seconds to work. Okay, so circuit breaks in less than 5 seconds. So C is the correct option over here. Question number 30. In this circuit, a component X automatically protects the wiring from overheating if there is a fault. Which components are suitable to use as X? So, I think fuse or a circuit breaker can be used over here, and nothing more is required. So B is the correct option. You don't require a switch. Only fuse, yes, only fuse can also work, but when there are two things that work or serve the same purpose, so that can be used as well. So both of them can be used. Okay, question number 31. A fuse is a safety device to use in an electric appliance. How does a fuse affect a circuit when the current in it becomes higher than the correct value of the appliance? It completely stops the current. Yes, this is the correct option. So we don't need to see the other ones. Okay, na? Moving on to question number 32. A certain electric appliance is powered by a main supply. The appliance normally uses a current of 3 amperes, but the current briefly rises to 4 amperes at the instant the appliance is switched on. The cable to the appliance is designed for a current up to 6 amperes. The fuse available to protect the cable are rated 1 ampere, 3 ampere, 5 ampere and 13 ampere. So what should we use? Okay. The appliance is calibrated for 4 amperes. Okay? The cable might be calibrated to hold 6 amperes of current. Okay. So where were we? 4 amperes is the calibrated current for the appliance. So even if the cable is calibrated for 6 amperes, we should look for something that is a little greater than 4 amperes. So 1 ampere is not going to work. 4 amperes fuse is also not going to work, because if these are used, the appliance is not going to work. 5 amperes seems to be a suitable fuse for this, because it is going to allow 4 ampere to pass through it, but will stop 5 amperes to pass, which is more than what is required by the appliance. So C is the correct option. 13 ampere is going to be huge. Question number 33. Which diagram shows the correct position for both switch and the fuse? Okay, this is a live wire. There is a switch, but fuse is after the appliance, so this is not going to work. B, there is a live wire, there is a switch, and then there is a fuse. Yes, this is a good arrangement for it. So this might be the correct option, but let's look at the other options. There is a fuse on the live wire, and then there is a switch after the appliance, so this is not correct. And over here, there is a fuse after the appliance, and the switch is also after the appliance, so this is not also going to work. So B is the correct option. Question number 34. On a building site, metal scaffolding is firmly embedded in the damp ground. A builder holds a main operated electric drill in one hand. With other hand, he holds onto the scaffolding. Scaffolding अगर आपको पता हो तो वो इस किस्म के what do you say, metal poles या pipes होती हैं to just keep the building steady. ये scaffolding basically it is made up of wood as well, and it is made up of metal as well. The power cable of the drill is damaged when it enters the metal casing of the drill. What danger does this present to the builder? A current could pass through the builder and electrocute him. Yes, this is the danger which is there when there isn't an earth wire present in the system. Okay? This is not correct. The current large current should blow the fuse and damage the drill. No, if the fuse blows up, the damage to the drill is minimized. The large current could make the motor spin too quickly. No, this is not correct. So A is the correct option. Question number 35. Either a fuse or a circuit breaker can be used to protect electrical cables from large currents that could cause overheating. So if a fuse is used, which position in the circuit should it be connected? And if a circuit breaker is used, in which position it should be connected? The circuit breaker and the fuse both should be connected at the same point, which is X, in parallel, in series with the live cable. So A is the correct option. Question number 36, which also is our last question. The current in the lamp at full brightness is 0.25 amperes. The flexible cable to the lamp is designed for current up to 5 amperes. So it can safely carry 0.25 amperes taken by the lamp. Which fuse should be inserted in the plug at the other end of the flexible cable? Okay, the lamp just requires 0.25 amperes. The cable might hold a 5 ampere current just for the safety of it, but the fuse that should be inserted should be a little larger than 0.25 amperes. Okay? It shouldn't be more than that. So if this is 0.25 amperes and the current in the lamp is at full brightness, and we are given these options over here. So 0.25 it requires. So a fuse of less than that value is not going to let the switch or anything current switch on the lamp. The fuse is going to stop any current going in. 1 ampere seems to be the right option because 5 and 10 amperes are way larger than 0.25. So 1 ampere seems to be an appropriate fuse for this lamp. So B is our correct option. This brings us to the end of our topic 4.10, which was electrical safety. It contained questions related to that. So inshallah, see you in the next video. Up till then, take care of yourselves. And if you found anything helpful in the video, kindly remember me in your prayers. Thank you.